Are you watching News X? My name is Vineet Malhotra. Well, the Delhi government is going to set up a plasma bank to help COVID 19 patients in the national capital. And this was announced by the Delhi Chief Minister. The use of plasma therapy involves injecting blood components of plasma extracted from a cured coronavirus patient into a positive case. And the attempt is to make sure, or rather try, it's an endeavor basically to restrict the pathogens that exist in a patient already, and that the severity of the case, the severity of the infection does not go exponentially high anywhere else. 1,25,000 people have succumbed to this disease in the United States. Scores of people have died elsewhere in the world as well. We have also lost a number of people owing to this particular disease. So, what is really the concept of plasma therapy, and is it efficacious? Is it going to help cut down on the number of people who are dying from COVID-19? Let's discuss that with some of our esteemed panelists. Let me introduce them in no particular order. Dr. M.C. Mishra, former director of AIIMS, who joins me on the program. Dr. D.K. Gupta, he's the CMD of Felix Hospital. And last but not the least, Dr. Khurshid Patel, he's the CMO for the Delhi government. Okay, right, it is a political gimmick, Dr. Gupta. In fact, a compelling point being made there. The fact of the matter is that how would you incentivize these people to go to these centers and donate? They're already scared for their life. They're already thanking God and saying that we made it, we survived. How do you make them go back to a setup where they find themselves at a risk? How do you incentivize them?
Yeah, this is a very valid question, I think, and I think this process should be started during the recovery phase of the patient. If normal patient, somebody is suffering from COVID-19 and he is admitted inside the hospital, and during recovery of his patient, like maybe before the discharge of 2 or 3 days before the discharge, there should be some counselors in the most of the COVID hospitals. They should counsel that they can save 1 or 2 or 3 lives if they fully recover, not immediately. Normally, we give plasma therapy after 3 to 4 weeks of the recovery period, because at that time, it's the best suited time for that person. He is healthy and little fitter than during disease period. So at that moment time, we should counsel them, and we should have their address, their mobile number, their contact period. Even declaration form or consent form should be signed from them. If we need somebody in emergency, then you should be ready for that. So, and there should be track record also, central tracking system also, so that whenever somebody is requiring, then the central tracking system means somebody want to explore from Noida or Delhi or somewhere else also, they can search it and they can contact them and they can do whatever they want with the. Yeah, so that should be the process to counsel them. That most important thing is counseling and awareness program from the media, print media, electronic media, even social workers, even prime minister or political, those who are having heavy weights, they should give the message, to a clear-cut message to society, that if you donate some plasma to a COVID patient, then it will be really life-changing for them. We have seen that there are so many studies in China, Europe, England, like US and Asia also, that the length of stay, admission, ICU admission rate, ventilator stay, and also the recovery rate is quite good after giving the convalescent plasma therapy. Even the clinical signs and symptoms disappears within 3 or 4 days after giving it. Their radiological findings, their X-rays, their CT scans, they become very better after giving it. Their virus load is decreased within 3 or 4 days. This is basically passive immunization. Means we are giving antibodies to a patient who is having high viral load, and after giving antibodies, these antibodies, they combine with the antigen, that is a virus, that is a pathogen, and they.
But Dr. Gupta, there is also a charge against this therapy, the convalescent therapy, that it compromises your immune system. It suppresses the body's natural immune response.
So there are 2 types of immune response. One is active immunization, second is passive immunization. Active is because of natural infection or some live vaccine. But sometimes when patient is moderately or severely sick, the first objective of doctors is to save their life, because they are immunely compromised and they are not generating active antibodies to fight that low viral load. Therefore, to save life, to neutralize those antigen or those virus antigens, immediately so that we can save somebody's life. That's why it is required. I really accept that it can compromise the immunity. It is only for short time. It's not for long time. There are only
Okay.
yeah.
So, Dr. Gupta, there's obviously a lot of work going on, and Dr. Malik also emphasized and enunciated that there are researches going on everywhere around the world. What is going to be the future of plasma therapy? Will this still continue to exist once we have a full-blown a vaccine? When we have an absolute cure for COVID-19, is this something which is going to continue to deal with severe cases, or do you think this is just a makeshift arrangement?
Most probably this is just a makeshift arrangement, because whenever we'll have a good vaccine, then the number of cases will decrease definitely. It will not have it will not be a pandemic. There will be maybe some outbreaks, maybe with the time of change of weather or something like that. But for serious cases at that moment of time also, plasma therapy will be crucial and will be important, because this is a passive immunization, means it acts immediately to neutralize the virus or antigen. Therefore, we get immediate response. And for vaccine, it takes 4 to 8 weeks to generate antibodies. Even sometimes we require booster doses of vaccinations also to have a significant antibody level, immunity level inside our body. Therefore, it's not it's a makeshift arrangement for COVID right now till we have a good vaccine, and maybe in future we will have it's used when somebody who is not responding, who is very serious, then we can. And at that time, moment of time, we will have drugs also. It's not only plasma therapy, we will have some antiviral drugs also. They will be fully effective, or they will have significant effect against this virus. And one thing more I would like to tell you, that at that moment of this time, plasma therapy is time tested therapy. It has less side effects. It has only allergic reaction or some side effect of blood transfusion, like infection can be transferred like hepatitis C and HIV. There is no major side effect, and it can be given at small centers also. Like Dr. Misra had told, that each blood bank, those who have component therapy, those who can separate component of blood and they can store them at their blood bank, they can give it. And it is a small procedure like a blood transfusion. 200 to 300 ml plasma can be given over to 2 to 3 hours to a patient with just close monitoring, vital monitoring during the transfusion and after the transfusion. There is no major side effect after that. So that is the most important thing. Yeah.
Right. And Dr. Malik, one last question before we in fact end this particular debate. There have been a lot of medicines which have been recently released to cure COVID-19. One of them was obviously put out by Patanjali, and it's been in in the news for all the wrong reasons. Another one was put out by Glenmark, FabiFlu. What's been your take on these medicines that have come out? Are they the absolute cure that people have been waiting for, or do you think that the wait is still pending? Dr. Malik?
Dr. Gupta, I think it is Dr. Gupta, not Malik.
Hello. Yeah. Like Coronil, this is just an immunobooster. They don't have a bigger trial. They have done a small trial, a candidate having around 284 only, and that trial was done only on quarantine patients or asymptomatic or very mild symptomatic patients. We know with different studies and different data that right now around 90 to 95% of very mild asymptomatic patients recover without any sequelae or without any complications. That means that drug is not tested fully or not. They don't have bigger randomized trial. There is a process of drug development. In this, there should be disease classification. Now there will be shortlisting of drugs. Then the drugs should be on a small target group. Small studies should be there, and there will be largest clinical trials.
Okay.
After that, there should be post-market surveillance studies also. It takes around 5 to 10 years to drug a fully competent drug. They done it only 2 months, and there was no protocols also. There should be protocol, sample collection, exclusion criteria, ethical guidelines, protocols, SOPs, and after that there should be at least bigger randomized trial, and there are clinical trials also. There are phase 1 trial, phase 2 trial, phase 3 trial, and phase 4 trial, starting from animals to smaller group of human beings, larger group of humans, to see the safety and efficacy of the drug. The Coronil, it definitely not a proven drug, but regarding the FabiFlu, it can be, because it is also effective for mild to moderate sick patients. So therefore,
All right.
it will be.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Gupta and Dr. Mishra and Dr. Patel for being a part of this very interesting debate. So the plasma therapy is something to fall back upon at this point in time, but once a proper vaccine and a drug is available, perhaps this makeshift arrangement will cease to exist as a cure for COVID-19. But the government, especially the state government, is trying its best to make sure that no new people are infected, and the ones who are already infected do not succumb to this very infectious disease.